guys, and welcome back to what I hope is the final episode or upload on the G6. Alright guys, so I got a little excited and jumped ahead, but what do you think of this front bump? It's not perfect, but I think it goes well with the car. It's the right color. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish buttoning it up. As you can see, the bottom is still not done there. And I'm missing some clips, and I got to put it in the fender wells and all that good stuff. I am missing one side. I don't remember which side. I've already taken the part out. It's right here, but I needed new fog lights, so we're gonna do the fog lights and those two pieces at a later date. Looks like I need this centerpiece too. This is broken, but that's all right. I'm probably not even gonna fix that. I'm gonna straighten it out and call it good enough. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. It's got some crack in paint and whatnot, but overall, she looks pretty darn good. So, with that being said, we're going to finish putting it on. Once again, sorry I jumped in a little early. I was so excited to get this thing on there and see how it fit up and what it looked like. So far, so good. I'm actually going to wait to button up the bottom, because when I take the wheels off to get the new tires put on, when we get those, there's two bolts right here that bolt up into the fender. I was able to get this one because I have the fender liner in there and there's a hole in it. I was not able to get to the one more to the front. So when I get the wheels off and I have a little more space, I'm going to tighten those up, but that still needs to be done. And it should help all this stuff here. So there's a little bit of fitment stuff, but until I can get to the rest of the see, same thing over here, and when I tighten that up, it'll close that. So until I can get to those, we're kind of at a standstill on this, but I got it mostly buttoned up. I'm really happy about that. Just look at this thing, guys. I do still need a battery, but don't mind the leaves. This tree right here is a royal pain, but she's looking good. Looking good, looking good. So I'm real happy with this so far, how it's turning out. It's got the more aggressive front bumper. So everything's looking good on this. It's turning out really well. I'm really happy about it. The gaps look good. This thing will be up for sale in no time. In this one, I am hoping to button up everything that's still left to do on it. And those things include the headlight is out, so we got to fix that. We still need to get our tires mounted and balanced. We still need to get the, let me grab the keys. We still need to get the center console fixed. So we still need to get this fixed because they're missing there. So we're going to take this apart and kind of see if we can fix it or what we need on that. The interior needs a good detail, and we got to install the battery. And the final thing is going to be this right here. We need to take all this apart, and we need to get this lug stud removed and replaced because we can't send it like that. So with that being said, we will hopefully be able to address all that stuff in this video, and the only video after that will be the final walk around of the car. So stay tuned, and we're gonna knock all this stuff out. So I think what we're gonna start with is this center fusion bolt, because I still don't have some of my other stuff done. I still haven't found tires to put on this, even though, or I still haven't gotten tires put on, even though I think I may have found some. Still don't have a lug stud, but I still need to take it apart, and all the rest of the stuff we should be able to knock out, so let's get to it. Guys, I almost forgot. We need to finish installing our dog lights and our trim pieces on there too. I don't know how I almost forgot that, but I almost did. So that's also added to our list of things to address. But for now, let's start with this issue with these, whatever this backing thing is missing. So let's get this addressed. I could get that little piece from the top, but based on looking at this one, I'm not going to be able to. I have to take it out from the bottom, which stinks. Totally miscalculated that. Should have paid closer attention. So, not a whole lot harder, but we have to now pull the center console, which really is pretty simple. It's these four, one in each corner, one here, two in the back on the side, and one on the other side. Just pull those, and all the seats being manual, it's super easy. So we're going to pull all those. We'll get this center console up and see how far we have to take it out to be able to get that piece out. So I will catch back up with you guys. Alright guys, and just like that, as you can see, we got our center console up. I've just got to get it out of there. There should be plenty of room to do so. The only thing left to do is on either side there are two clips. One is right about there and the other is right about there. So each at like 1/3 of the way, so 1/3, 1/3. And then there's one, of course there's four total. They're mirrored left and right sides. So I want to get that out and see what we can't find. Well, that's not good. An old cigarette butt in here. Oh, a quarter. So I think the proper way to do this, you're supposed to take the center stack out, but I'm honestly not going to mess with that because I don't think I have to. So, like I said, I'm going to get that off and then I will see if we can't figure out a fix. Alright guys, look at what I found inside. The missing pieces. So this thing is filthy, but it is actually glued. Let's see if we can get some better lighting up in here. It's actually glued, so the pieces were broken out. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this piece up. I'm going to glue those back in there. I'm sending it. I'm not going to mess with replacing this. It's really not a big deal. And I'll glue this other side too. As you can see, I think it's the minus is a little shaky. So I'll get this whole part cleaned up. I'm going to fix this. There is a little bit of a crack in the M right there, but I'm not even going to worry about that because it's such a minor little detail. You're not getting a perfect car. That's just the way it is. So let's clean this up and get it cleaned. Alright guys, and just like that, we've pretty much lost our daylight. So with that being said, I will catch up with you guys probably not tomorrow, but definitely the next day. Or not the next day. This is going to be a multiple day upload for sure. So we are going to just kind of pick up a little bit here, and then I will get back at it soon. Alright guys, so in the last one I left you guys with a clean and broken part. So It's not pretty, but we've got her glued back in. So the most that you'd ever notice is there is a crack in the M, but I'm not even going to worry about that. Like I said, cheap car. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this put back in that car and button up that interior so that we can cross this guy off the list. And just like that, we've run out of daylight again. So I'm not going to do much here off camera. All I'm going to do is I'm going to button up these 4 screws. As you can see, I got all of this back together. It's looking good. So I'm just going to put these 4 screws in, put our little caps in, and then this little issue is going to be resolved. So with that being said, I will catch you guys, for you, just in a few seconds. But for me, it'll be a couple days with the remaining things to do on the G6. Oh guys, it has been a few days since I last ended this video off. As you can see, we no longer have the F-150. My father did come over, this was Thanksgiving for me, so I'm way behind in my videos, but he did come and visit, and we worked on it, and he has left and taken the F-150 with him, and since then I have moved this in here, so we need to finish this up. I want this done this week, so we can get this up and hopefully sold pretty quickly, because like I said, I do want it to be a pretty cheap car. So well, let's continue on with the things that we need to fix. First off, I'm going jack stands. We're taking all the wheels off, throw them in the truck. We need to put new wheels on this thing, and then we need to replace this guy here, this lug that we had to grind away to get the tire off. I went to the store and picked up a new lug bolt to replace that. So we should be good there. We'll get that all replaced. I also picked up a low beam light for that low beam that's out. And since then, we've also gotten both of our, well, that was the one that had the original bumper, and we've got this guy. Go this way. And we've got this one, which is brand new. And also, we have gotten, where did I put it? Also, those fog lights have come in, but I'm not entirely sure where I put them. So, I'll find those, and I will share those with you, but for now, let's get these wheels off this car. Well, I found them. Here are the brand new fog lights that are going to fit perfectly in that front bumper. So, without further ado, let's get these wheels off and thrown into the back of the truck. guys, so I finally figured out just how tight something can be here, because it has totally just destroyed this little thing with how tight these lug nuts are. That is absolutely insane that they're that tight, which makes me think that whatever happened on the other side is the same problem on this side. So I'm going to try to get this off, see what I can't come up with. I do not, under any circumstance, want to Dremel any more often. There's no reason to. There's still good threads there and stuff. So we will figure out another plan of attack and see if we can't get some of these loosened up, because I really need these wheels up. So let's see if we can't figure this out. Alright, so I found a socket that didn't need to go through an adapter, which I probably should have used to begin with, but to be honest, I've used that adapter quite a bit and I've never had an issue, so never really thought twice about it. But with that being said, we're going to get those wheels loaded up and see if we can't get this stud over here replaced. So I'm going to jump onto trying to get that stud replaced. So I think that'll be the harder of the jobs, and then tomorrow, probably depending on how long this takes, we'll button up the front. So let's get this stud replaced. Alright guys, so to change our wheel stud we need to take the caliper off as if we were going to change the brake pads. While I do that, I will, the pad's looking fairly new, so that should be fine. Take those off, then we need to take the rotor off. Then we need to look back here. And that should be it. We should be able to get to it from there. So let's take this off and see if there's anything else that we need to do, or what the case may be. It looks like we've got just two nuts. One is, let's see if we can't get this. One is right here. The other one is right down there. Right here. They look like, I don't know, 1/2 inch. So we'll get those taken off. Then we're going to hang this from, I honestly don't know where, probably from the shock back here, or the spring back here, and should be able to pull this right off. So let's see what we can do. Alright guys, before my battery dies, I just wanted to show you that the bolts that I pointed to before were up here. The actual bolts were back here. So instead of like in this general area, it was this mount and this mount. I just pointed to the wrong ones, and those were 13s. So, which is 1/2 inch. It's not the same, but pretty darn close. And it looks like it already wants to come off. So we should, with that being said, be able to give her a little heat, a couple bangs, and we should be able to knock that stud right out. And then we just gotta put the other one in, and we'll use some Loctite on that when we put it in, and use the nut to kind of cinch it down. So pretty simple stuff here. Ooh, look at that guy. That's a dangerous place for a spider. Ooh, there's another one. Look at all the spiders up there. So with that being said, we're gonna get this switched out, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't take too long. So just like that, we have one stud that is removed. So basically all I did is I put this nut on that I'm not going to be using on as far as I could with the threads all messed up like they were, just so I had something square to hit on. And I just hit it with this brass hammer. It only took 3 hits and that came right out. No heat, no nothing like that. So yeah, just like that. I should be able to take this out. Alright, oh, also, I just happen to have lug nuts sitting around, and there is 20 of them in there, which is the correct amount, and they are 12 by 1.5, which is also the correct thread size. So I am super excited about that because none of these were the same. So look at the size difference in these. They look the same, but I couldn't take them off with the same tool. So that way we're kind of getting rid of all that. We're going to one standard lug nut across all of them. Done. Piece of cake. So let me get that all set up, taken off, and we'll throw the other one in, and then I'll show you guys what I'm going to do to kind of cinch that down. So I tested it on my new lug stud. I just want to make sure that I had the right size so I wasn't in the same boat, only having 4 on this tire. So it fits. It is good. I already checked it on one of the other studs, the original studs, and we're good there as well. I know there's a lot of different types of lug nuts, but the main thing for the lug nuts that we're using is that they both have this beveled edge. There are some different, but majority of them have this chamfered edge so that it centers the wheel as you tighten it. So we have the same thing. Our lug nuts are much smaller, which is fine. That doesn't really matter. That just kind of caps the end of them. So it does the same thing. So I'm actually going to use this one again to pull it through, so that if I damage anything, it's not on my good lug nut. So yeah, just like that. We're going to come over here, grab this, grab our light so you can see too. Basically, I need to get some better lighting for this type of stuff. So basically what we're going to do is just feed this through here. I'm going to let it sit there. I'm going to put some Loctite on the threaded part because I do not want it coming out. And then I'm going to just throw this on one of the guns, and I'm just going to crank that in until this shoulder right here, past the knurl is seated to the back of this. But before I do any of that, I am going to clean up this back edge. Just hit it with a quick wire brush so that it's clean, we get good contact, and this stud never comes out again. Alright guys, just like that, I've got some Loctite in there. You may be able to see it's a little damp. Got some Loctite in there just for a little extra sealant. We got it strapped in there. We threw a nut on it and used this big old impact to cinch it down, and we are ready to put this all back together. Just in reverse order. Like I said, we're going to throw our rotor back on. Then we should be good to throw our caliper back on, and that should be it. Just like that. It's just 2 bolts, like I said here. You don't want those pretty tight. Those were 13. I used a 13 millimeter. So really pretty simple to do these. You hammer them out, use the nut to put them back in. You're golden. Pretty simple. So that's another job done. Well guys, I've run into a bit of a problem with our new lug nuts. Yeah, that is a problem. They're not the same length. So what I'm going to do is, honestly, I'm just going to put all those lug nuts back on, because clearly it doesn't matter. I'm still one short, so I'm going to use a longer one. Should be that one. And so it's still shorter, but I really should just, yeah. I'm just going to use it. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. So this one can go. With that being said, guys, that is going to do it for the lug nut, or the lug stud, changing the lug stud. We got it all put back together. She's golden.